This national motocross action is proudly brought to you by TRP and their associate sponsors. It's round 2, and we stay at the coast down to Zone 7 in Cape Town for round number 2 of the TRP National Motocross Championships. And it's a really awesome track that has been prepared here today, and big fields coming out to entertain all the crowds that have come to join us here for round 2. And they certainly are going to be entertained because the team at Zone 7 have gone all out to ensure that not only are we good and ready to go, but the track, which is one of the longest of the season, is prepared to perfection. Everybody looking forward to getting out there and doing some battle on Cape Town's premier motocross track, and it certainly looks like it's ready to go. We're going to start things out now with the 50cc's. Ethan Williamson coming out of PE with a double victory and looking to extend his lead on the 171. A couple of little final changes to the track. You can see them just sorting out the start there as all our 50s get into the gates and get ready to go. I wonder if Logan Van Vuuren is going to have what it takes to take another hole shot. He was the hole shot king down in PE, and he's certainly looking forward as that 15-second board changes to 5 to do the same thing here in Cape Town. Listen to those revs pick up in the 50s, and as they do, the gate's going to drop, and out the gates they go. 171 with a great start, Ethan Williamson, as they head down towards turn number 1, but it looks like it might be Logan Van Vuuren who gets around the outside. Yes, here he comes, Van Vuuren around the outside, and he gets the whole shot. Incredible stuff there. Keenan Strauss is in there as well. Not such a good start from Chase Becker, but watch for him coming through the field rapidly. Jake Van Scoor, also a man to watch out for, a man who battled hard down in PE. As they get into the thick of it for the very first time, Logan Van Vuuren, as I said, hitting the whole shot and leading at the moment. What a start there from the youngster. Good start there coming out of Kobe Hart. Watch out for Casey Tilley and Cruz Martin as well, getting a really nice one at the front end. As they come in there, Christian Barrington-Smith slowly but surely starting to make his way to the front end as well on the 141. He's a very fast young rider and certainly a man to keep an eye out in the season. He's gone 1 for 1 at the previous national, and he's also doing a super job to stay at the top 3. And he's looking for a chance to beat out Williamson and Van Scoor. He's starting to get into the mix now, and you can see they're starting to close in on Van Vuuren. So all of a sudden, Ethan Williamson, the man with 171 on his number board, is the man that they're all looking to close down on and get past. He currently sits there in about 3rd place. Still out front, Van Vuuren hanging on for now, but how much longer can he keep it all together? Going to be a tough day as the track room. This is one of the only tracks that we've got both seniors and juniors racing on, and it's one of the only circuits that the 50cc's actually cross over and actually get a chance to ride the big track as well as the junior track. It's great for entertainment, but it doesn't work so well if you've got small wheels, particularly on these little 50s. You can see even there on the first part, they are taking strain. Van Vuuren doing a super job, but he has got Ethan Williamson all over the back of him. And he certainly looks like he wants to get past. Watch out in the background though, because it is definitely a big charge coming from the 141 of Christian Barrington-Smith. Barrington-Smith, a man to watch out for the season. He has got better and better, and he's just got a brand new motorcycle sponsored to him by an anonymous sponsor. Great to have somebody like that. Oh, problems there for the 30 bike. Brody Birch is just getting out of shape, and that's, of course, Brett's youngster. Just getting a little bump coming out of that turn, but he managed to stay upright. Good riding. Williamson's at the front, though. We've got a new leader. He's followed very closely there, and you can see Van Vuuren trying to stay with him all the way as they head down onto the bottom section of the circuit. Closing in is Van Scoor. He's now sitting in about 4th place. Chase Becker's also made his way up to the front end on the 3.6. Coming through there as well. Watch out for Evan Frost and Wouter van Niekerk. Kobe Hart also having a great run just inside the top 10 with Jake Pretorius and Christy Fletter. As we're getting into the closing stages now of this little 50cc battle, the 38 special of Keenan Strauss has now moved up into 2nd. He's got through. It looks like there might have been an issue somewhere out on circuit for Logan Van Vuuren. He's dropped right back behind Jake Van Scoor. So it looks like it's going to be Williamson who's going to take it to the line as he comes through there. Right on his tail. There you can see the 404 of Logan Van Vuuren. No, Van Vuuren is there. I just missed him in the background. So Van Vuuren just staying in there for now, but being closed down here by these two, Chase Becker and Van Scoor. Jake doing a super job there, trying to close that gap down, and slowly but surely reeling in. There's Van Vuuren, is that a problem? Oh, he's gone down. Oh, and he goes down again. Oh, what a pity there for Logan Van Vuuren. He's had such a good day so far, and 2 little mistakes have cost him dearly. So Logan Van Vuuren going to drop right out of it now, probably down into about 5th or 6th place. He's got the 14 of Kobe Hart who's just come through on him. He'll try and close him down before we get to the end. The 30 bike goes down as well. Brody Birchow taking a bit of strain now, and you can see the little wheels are starting to take strain in the very big ruts that have started to form here. No worries at all though for Ethan Williamson as he hangs on. Pepper even getting out there to help out. Ian Pepper, the Motocross Commission President, getting out there to help some of the riders who have gone down. They're all back up and riding though, and you can see on the sidelines people helping them out. That's what it's all about. And wide open is what the dads are saying. Do not let go. Try and find the lines that are required, and that's exactly what these little 50cc boys and girls are doing. Jake Pretorius comes flying past us there. And here we go into the front end of this battle. You can see Keenan Strauss under a bit of pressure now in the closing stages. He's being closed down there by the 36 of Becker and Van Schuur. Van Schuur is right there. 51 a bit further back. Just inside the top 10 there is Pretorius. And you can see him also just being closed down by Evan Frost. I wonder where Logan Van Vuuren has got to. Van Vuuren, as I said, had a super run. But it's all about this man, Ethan Williamson, looking to make it 3 wins out of 3 starts so far this season. And that'll be an incredible start to the season. It kind of happens in the 50C season, has happened over the last couple of seasons. Another rider down. Oh, rider going down there just in the closing stages. Not what you want. Checkered flag is what you want, that's for sure. And Williamson has taken it. Keenan Strauss comes through for second, just ahead of Chase Becker and Jake Van Schuur, with Logan Van Vuuren making up a great amount of ground and finishing up just behind them. The overall results, though, go to Williamson ahead of Keenan Strauss and Van Schuur. It's Chase Becker and Logan Van Vuuren who beat out Evan Frost, Jake Pretorius, and a great ride in 8th place coming out of Kobe Hart. Fantastic action from our 50cc riders, and as you can see, Christian Barrington-Smith winning the second heat and taking the red plate to round number 3 in Bloemfontein. And we'll see you after the break for some more action. Welcome back to Zone 7 in Cape Town and round 2 of the TRP National Motocross Championships. It's going to be electric stuff now, and stand by as MX2 are about to line up to do another round of this epic battle of championships. Arguably the most competitive in the National Championship Series. And when you've got a field of over 22 riders lined up in the gate, you know you're in for a great one. Unfortunately, the championship leader is not here with international duties for Cam Deroe, so that means it is wide open for anybody to take the championship lead here today. And odds-on favourite will definitely be Anthony Reynard at his home track. Gate stripe, and we head down towards Bridgestone Corner, turn number 1. Who's going to get the whole shot as they head down there? Oh, what a start! Can you believe that? They're all up right into Bridgestone Corner. It looks like it might be Kieran Fitzgerald, who's just squeezed around the outside, and it looks as if he's just got ahead there of Reynard as they come flying over the Prepsol jump. Just behind that, the whole shot king, of course, is normally Vogelslang. He didn't get a great start at all. It's Nick Adams who goes side by side there with Kieran Fitzgerald as they come through the first set of whoops. He goes on the inside. Nick Adams on the Husqvarna looking for a way through. Can't find it just yet. Josh Mlimi just tucked in behind them. Then Reynard dropping back down 2 positions after a great start. The rest of this pack come flying through, and as they go down towards the bottom turn, it's Mlimi who now tries to close in on Nick Adams and make it Red Bull KTM's 1 and 2. They go up and down this banking now. This is what we're going to see all day long. You can see just how difficult the track is as well. After qualifying, it started to rip up a bit, and it's getting some big brake bumps. Those will just get bigger and bigger throughout the day as they come out of Gurney. Up over the fly jump, and now back down towards the start-finish line. You can see just how hard these riders are pushing. They are putting in some big efforts at the front end. Further back there, William Oosthuizen, who's having a good run there just outside the top 10, and a new man to MX2. 147 is Van der Rohe. Great to have him back in the mix. And he's fighting hard at the back there with Nathan Victor and Aidan Rogers. But at the front end, things are starting to heat up as we see a big maneuver there coming from the Yamaha. The Tsintwalo Yamaha of Reynard trying to close down on the 2 Red Bull KTMs and that Husqvarna squeezed in between the 2 of them. And you can see in the background, look at how they're starting to open up. Big move there from Reynard as he starts to come through and closing things down. Ricky Raff also with a phenomenal start there. Watch out for him as he makes his way through on the Summit Racing Yamaha. Down on the braking point now, look at this. It's so good to see such good battles, and all the way through the field as well. Around the outside, Marco de Freyr starting to put on some pressure there on the back end of the field, closing in on Regan Warsmith and Vogelsang. Red Bull KTM versus Q4 Fuels Husqvarna, and the Tsintwalo Yamaha is coming big time. Reynard has started to come through there, and he gets around the outside. Looks like he might have got through there on Adams, and Reynard has squeezed through and got the Yamaha up to second place. What a move there. Nick Adams into third place now, into the clutches of Mlimi, who still sits there in fourth place on the second of the Red Bull KTMs. How awesome is this little battle? 3 different manufacturers and 4 riders going at it for the top 4 in this MX2s. Further back, watch out for Raff, and a great start there from Van der Nabile. Seth Van der Nabile on a 125, nogal, having an absolute blast of a time amongst these 2 fillies. They come in there, Adams starting to come back and not giving Reynard any room to play on his home track. No respect whatsoever for the hometown boy. Oh, Ricky Raff has turned around his season in a big way. There's Regan Warsmith, and in between the 2 of them, you've got Seth Van der Nabile. Down the back straight they go, and all of a sudden it's Reynard, who looks like he's the most dangerous man out on track, setting some incredible lap times around here, and starting to get onto the back end of that Red Bull KTM. Fitzgerald just keeping it at bay for now. Oh, a small mistake there from Reynard. Just got caught up in that berm. Just got onto the inside, and it didn't quite work out for him that line. He had to just change his mind, and that's allowed Adams to come straight back at him. Adams now going to try and make him capitalize. Oh, he goes on the inside. Big move there from Adams. Nick Adams had a big look on the inside of Reynard. Couldn't quite make it stick, but he's definitely applying the pressure, and Reynard is feeling it. That's why he's decided to turn the wick up. Let's return the favor and get around the outside. There's no line there. Has he been able to make it stick? Yes, he has. Oh, home track knowledge has definitely helped him out there. He knew the outside line of that corner was definitely going to help as he came out of Gurney and hit the fly jump. So he's hit the front, and it's now Reynard out front, disappearing and leaving a big gap almost instantaneously on the Red Bull KTM of Kieran Fitzgerald and Nick Adams on the Husky. Josh Mlimi's closed that gap down as well to Adams and Fitzgerald, so it's a three-way battle for second as Reynard goes over the Prepsol jump and starts to clean things up as he gets through that section. Oh, great shots as they come through there, trying to keep the air time down as much as possible, scrubbing those jumps and ensuring that they keep the lap times as low as possible as well. Reynard on the Sunswallow Yamaha getting away. Exactly what he wanted to do. Remember, he had a bit of a nightmare in PE, crashing out on the first corner, getting up from the back of the field and still finishing second. So we know he's got pace. And here at his home track, he's definitely going to have that little advantage, and it's definitely paying off for him. Further back, Seth van der Nabila on the 125, also doing a superb job, but he's being closed down now by Brad Cox. The brother leader tread KTM man slowly but surely getting into the mix. De Freya also up there as well. Not a bad run so far from Marco De Freya as he starts to close in on Van der Nabila and Cox. Getting away at the front end is Reynard and getting the job done into Gurney. He has got a massive advantage now over the two Red Bull KTMs and that Husqvarna. And looks like Kieran Fitzgerald decided to open up as well. But Nick Adams and Mlimi have gone with him. There's just no answer there. There really isn't an answer at all to the Yamaha, and he seems to be just having the edge here today. Hope he can keep it all together now to get him to the line. As you can see behind that, Nick Adams has not given up the race and the fight just yet. He is all over the back of Kieran Fitzgerald as Van der Nabila hits the big step up. And he is getting away now from De Freya. De Freya has actually been caught and passed by Vogelsang. So Johan Vogelsang, our whole shot king usually, has been in the mix. Ricky Raff with one of the best rides we've seen out of him so far as he stepped up out of the 125s last year into 250s this season and up into 5th place for Summit Racing. It's Reynard who's getting away now, coming to the closing stages, and it looks like Kieran Fitzgerald is going to keep Adams at bay. Not much he can do about it. The checkered flag is going to come out. Plain sailing there and an easy ride at the end. Don't know if you can say too easy there, Greg, because man, it's hard out there. Look at the track and how it's ripped up. Fitzgerald in second and Adams through for 3rd place. A well-deserved 4th place there for Mlimi. He'll be looking forward to race number 2 later on. There is the official results with Reynard taking it for Sunswallow Racing ahead of Kieran Fitzgerald on the Red Bull KTM. Kufavil's Husqvarna in 3rd place ahead of Mlimi. Ricky Raff on the Summit Racing Yamaha ahead of Brad Cox. Seth van der Nabila on the 125 and Wasmith in 8th place. So as the marshals take their break for lunch, we're going to take a break as well. Join us after this one and come and see all the rest of the action from Zone 7 here in Cape Town. Welcome back to Zone 7 and the TRP National Motocross Championships, round number 2. It's nice to see a big crowd coming out despite lots of action in Cape Town this weekend. The biggest action, though, on 2 wheels happened down here at Zone 7. And we're about to see more of it, as we can see an aerial shot here of this magnificent circuit that's been well prepared. And we get ready to go now for the 85cc Pro Minis and the Juniors. Emmanuel Bacco makes a welcome return into the 85cc Juniors. He'll be looking to take on Seth Young and Deegan Bloomfield. And look out in the Pro Minis, because it's international stuff that's happening there, with Ugandans coming back again to take on Blake Young and Dylan Kirk from Swaziland and Diane Manuel from Zimbabwe and everybody else from South Africa. It's an intercontinental championship, you could say, here in the 85cc Pro Minis and the Juniors. As they head down towards Bridgestone turn, oh, it's a good start, and Stav Orland looks like he's got the whole shot. Yes, he has. He goes flying around the outside and takes the lead into turn 1, Bridgestone corner. And right on his tail is Diane Manuel, and what a start there from Dylan Kirk. Kirk just takes that whole shot away from him. So it was only about a half a corner that he was able to hold the whole shot for, and Dylan Kirk, the championship leader, gets to the front and says, right, this is my championship to win. Welcome to our house. It's not really his house, but he's here from Swaziland, and he's doing a super job with the 55 bike, and it should be a red number board on that bike, as he did take both the wins in PE. Look at this field. Absolutely incredible to see over 30 riders in the house here. Out front in the Juniors, Emmanuel Bacco looks like he's got the start there on the 10 bike. And another good start coming out of Timo Topfer. And then in the front end, Stav Orland now going at it side by side with Dylan Kirk, looking for a way through on the Pro Mini class, and he's got through. So he makes his way to the front end and retakes that front end battle. What a start here. This is exactly what we expected. Dylan Kirk taking a bit of strain there, going side by side with Blake Young. Diane Manuel involved in it as well. And Leonard DeToy not too far off the back end of this front battle for the Pro Minis. And what a battle it is. Didn't quite expect these guys to be as quick, but they are definitely reveling in these conditions. And the deep sand is definitely not hindering them whatsoever. So side-by-side action as they go back down towards the bottom section of the circuit. Further through the field, trying to pick up on McClellan. I was trying to see exactly where he ended up. Rider down here. Unfortunately, looks like Pepper going to help out once again. It's 101, Borin Totoy on the Raceworks KTM. He gets picked up and will get going again. He had a great first outing, not really going according to plan here. Maybe he's taking a bit of strain. There are some riders that are not finding it as easy through the thick sand. But the man out front is definitely a loving life. And Stav Orland opening up a bit of a margin now. Front end of 85cc Juniors is still Emmanuel Bucko ahead of Young and Bloomfield. So that's how things look at this stage in the 85cc Juniors. But things about to heat up there as McClellan starts to close in on Dylan Kirk and on Diane Manuel. That's a big mistake. Timo Topfer making a little bit of mistake through there. Picks it up and gets going again. And DeToy is not loving life in these conditions. Look at how he nearly went out the front door there. So 101 Borin DeToy not getting into a rhythm here whatsoever. Really taking a lot of strain. And here's the battle for second, third, and fourth place in 85cc Juniors. Timo Topfer going at it there with Deegan Bloomfield on the inside line. Around his outside with Seth Whittington and Seth Young just ahead of them there. Back to the front, Dylan Kirk just ahead of Diane Manuel. Look out for Dylan Kirk trying to make his way back to the front end as he starts to close things down now on Blake Young. There you see a great shot of Emmanuel Bucko. He's the leader in the 85cc Juniors. And just behind him, coming through rapidly, is Bryce Peterson, mid-pack of that Pro Mini class. So Bucko's got into that mid-pack and is starting to hinder those riders and get through them rapidly. It's interesting to see how the smaller wheels are not really being too badly troubled here, especially on Bucko's bike and on Seth Young. Oh, what a shot. Sideways from Orland. He's just loving life at the moment. You can see just how comfortable this young man is. Getting a bit of style on for the crowd as well. He's got that big a lead over second place Blake Young. Young at this stage in second. It's Diane Manuel from Zimbabwe there in third place. A phenomenal run from him. Great to have him back in the pack. And Dylan Kirk, the championship leader, down in fourth place. They're starting to close in on Borin DeToy, the last man out on circuit at this point. And as they come through there, it is a magic battle here. But no one has got an answer to Stav Orland. He really has just disappeared at the front end. Made this race circuit his own. Massive improvement coming out of Tyler Tarantino there on the 300 bike as well after PE, where he really battled in the sand. He's a little bit better and feeling a little bit more confident on the bigger bike. And continues to fight on. The fight continues right the way through. Diane Manuel starting to close in on Blake Young. There's only a couple of laps to go for these guys, probably just a couple of corners in fact. And it's all about Stav Orland breaking away from Blake Young, Dylan Kirk, the two Swaziland riders. And don't forget, we've got Diane Manuel in there as well. Tarantino fighting for a top 15. Not such a great ride coming out of Nate McClellan. He had a much better outing. And look at him, he's fighting there with Emmanuel Bucko. That is the leader of the 85cc Juniors taking on. There's third place, Deegan Bloomfield, the Ridgeway Race Bar rider, having a phenomenal run, one of his best ever, and it's going to be his highest finish in a national. 26 is the man to beat, and no one can do it. Stav Orland coming to the checkered flag and taking the win here today in the 85cc Pro Minis. Lucas Venter lucky to survive and nearly gets lapped there by the number 2 Blake Young, who comes through for second place. But overall positions go to Stav Orland ahead of Diane Manuel, Blake Young and Dylan Kirk in 3 and 4. Emmanuel Bucko taking the 85cc Juniors ahead of Seth Young and Deegan Bloomfield. Josh Fletcher making his way up into the top 4 for the first time.
In the first heat, I didn't get a good start, but managed to make most passes on the first lap and stayed behind Luca for like 2 laps, and then he crashed, so got around him and kept up front to take the win.
Can Yamaha's Anthony Reynard take a double win here in the MX2 class as they line up for their second heat of today's action? Can Nick Adams do anything about the front end and maybe get that Husqvarna up like he did in PE for the second heat? Look at where Cox is, right in the middle of the gate. That's normally a difficult position to start from, but Bradley Cox seems to know what he's doing. As the gates are about to drop, the 5-second board disappears, and here we go. Aerial material down into Bridgestone corner. Who's going to have the whole shot? Looks like it's Malimi. Wow, what a start from Josh Malimi. He's got the whole shot down into turn 1. He comes out of there with his teammate right on his tail. It's Adams tucked in as well, and a nice start from the Yamaha of Reynard. A much better start this time from Reynard. Not such a good start there from Cox. He's dropped down to about 12th place. He'll be coming through the field rapidly though. Watch out for Brad Cox. Spoke to him in the break. He is fired up for the second heat. Reynard seems to be fired up as well. He goes side by side there with Kieran Fitzgerald and Adams as they come up the hill. Yeah, that 3x3, they go into that top turn. Tucked in behind there. There's already a move from Cox going around the outside. Getting through to Freya, taking a bit of strain in that mid-pack. Watch out for Vogelslang and Ricky Raff. Raff getting a 5th place in race number 1. What a start to his season. He's certainly looking good there on that Summit Racing Yamaha as this big field gets some aerial shots. And look at that. You don't see the undulation there, but it's a massive climb up to that big tree and a massive drop back down into the bottom section of the circuit. And into the Gurney berms coming through onto the big fly jump now, and it is Mlimi getting away from Fitzgerald. Reynard in 3rd place. Adams dropped down a little bit there. He's actually dropped down just behind the hard charge coming out of Brad Cox. Vogelslang in there too, but it's the 2 Red Bull KTMs who lead things out as they cross over the finish jump. Very, very close there. Fun and Nabila, another great start on the 125. And it looks like it's Travis Teasdale who's actually made his way up there as well. A nice start there from the Enduro champion. He's using this for a little bit of practice and a bit of fitness as well. And Teasdale definitely going to get his great workout today. The workout at the front is being done by Mlimi. What a start chat from Josh. He's just getting away from this field, opening up a comfortable margin. Hopefully he can just hang on to it, get into a nice rhythm, and keep his teammate Kieran Fitzgerald in 2nd. And, of course, that Yamaha of Reynard down in 3rd. But Reynard's got different stories. He certainly wants a double victory here today, and he's pushing hard for it. He's looking for a way pass as they come through over the fly jump now. See if he goes side by side with him on the fly jump, trying to go around the high side. Oh, but Fitzgerald just keeps it. Oh, he gets around him. Look at that. There's a change up for 2nd place. Has Reynard got through? Yes, he has. Reynard has got through, but here comes Fitzgerald straight back at him. Just behind that over the FMF jump, you can see Ricky Raff now fighting hard there with Adams. Adams has just found his way back ahead of the Yamaha. So it's Husqvarna versus Yamaha, and it's Yamaha versus Red Bull KTMs at the front end. This is an incredible ride from our X2 riders. They are not holding anything back here today, that is for sure. Vogelslang, Van der Nabile, and Teasdale going at it with Cox. And those guys starting to come into the mix as well as the front runners start to, things start to change up here. Look at the pace of that Sinswalo Yamaha. He is close right up on the back of that Red Bull KTM of Mlimi. 17 coming through there is Nathan Victor. Good to see him back on a motorcycle as well. Been a long time since he's been in the front end of a battle, but he's in the top 10 right now. Top 2 going at it as they head back down the hill into OGO. They come into the Pro Taper turn now and heading up towards 100%. They come out of 100%. It's a big turn into Gurney, and the Gurney rider is under attack from the Foxman as they go side by side. Look at this. This is top quality motocross racing action, and you only get it here at TRP Nationals. Further down the field, Aidan Rogers, one of our back markers. Great to have him. Bevan Goos, Van der Roel, and William Oosthuizen all joining the fray in MX2s. There go the top 2 as they cross the finish jump. 3rd place is Fitzgerald. Look how far back he is. He'll be happy to settle for a 3rd place here. Not really a sand specialist, although he has been spending a lot of time in Sasolburg trying to get ready for this event, and it seems to be paying off. He had a great first outing. Now further back in the pack, look at this. Great to see the action, as I said, right through this pack. Regan Wasmith, Mark Cardy going at it, but a change up at the front. Yes, the Yamaha's got through, and he's got through on Mlimi. Mlimi has an answer to come back at him. Josh going to have to fight hard now to see if he can just stay with the pace of Anthony Reynard. He doesn't want to give Reynard a double victory. That will give him the red plate going into round number 3, so he certainly doesn't want to let that happen. But it doesn't look like he's got an answer. Mlimi's pushing hard. Look at how well he's riding. It's a phenomenal ride here coming out of Josh. Look at the nice rhythm he's got. Very comfortable on the motorcycle, and his teammate just behind there also looking good on the Red Bull KTMs. Adams in 4th. It looks like he's bridged a bit of a gap now, and it looks like Brad Cox has got through there for 5th place ahead of Ricky Raff. Yes, he has. Raff now down into that 6th spot. He's going to have to do a bit of work now to stay with Cox. Brad Cox turning his weekend around big time here. And coming through the fly jump for the last time. A nice salute to the Cape Town crowd from the Cape Town local as he comes to take a double victory here today. What a ride from Anthony Reynard. It's going to be a bit of a change-up by the time we get to Bloemfontein. He'll have the red plate, but he's going to have his work cut out for him. Official results of race number 2 there. The Sinswalo Racing Yamaha taking the win ahead of Josh Mlimi on the Red Bull KTM and his teammate Kieran Fitzgerald in 3rd. Adams in 4th and Cox down in 5th place. And after an up and down one in PE, you've come back strong at your hometown.
I've put in the work since PE. It hasn't been a long time. We've had 3 weeks, but my home track, I've done enough laps here to ride it blindfolded. But just super stoked. The team, my bike, Dave Freeman, Yamaha, everyone that's been behind me, thank you so much. It just shows all the hard work that we put in has paid off today with the double. And I'm stoked. I'm really, really stoked. Thank you.
Despite having the 2 Red Bull KTMs and that Sinswalo Yamaha on the podium, remember we've got a 3-horse battle. Adams on the Husqvarna was not too far behind these guys. And in Bloemfontein, we're going to see an epic battle, I'm sure, continuing in this MX2 Championship. Congratulations to our top 3, and join us next time around for MX1 and the rest of the support categories. This National Motocross Action is proudly brought to you by TRP and their associate sponsors.